I drew a pixel doodle every weekday for 100 days. I thought for this video it would be nice to chat about why I started this wild journey, some tips on how I stay consistent, and then show some of my favorite pieces. So let's jump straight into it. Hello, my name is Jade, and I like to paint with pixels. So this isn't the first time that I've tried to start drawing consistently. A little bit of background, I've been drawing on and off for a few years now, mainly pixel art, and it's something that I've always wanted to learn more, but never really gave myself the space to do it. I've tried drawing daily and posting it to Instagram, so I could have a bit more accountability every time I drew something, but every time I did it, I'd set way too high of an expectation for what I wanted to make each day, and then I'd run out of steam after a week or two. So, with my track record, I wasn't sure how long I would keep this up, but eventually it started to feel pretty natural to do, and I think that these 3 points helped me with this a lot. Number 1 is to keep things super simple. This feels very obvious to say, but I found that the more sort of rules and guidelines that I had to work with took out a lot of the trickier decisions that I'd sometimes slip up on when I'm trying to create this habit for myself. So for what I did in terms of rules and guidelines, I set my canvas size to 100 by 100 pixels for every bit of artwork each weekday, and then used the same color palette that I used for all of my doodles. And I even made this little template that had some placeholder numbers so I knew where to put them, and I have my signature, which I still forget to put onto some of my doodles. But having it all there already set up meant that I just had to copy the page over every day and then change the number at the bottom. And I feel like with any habit, if you want to do something, you have to make it as easy as possible to do. So not having to set up that page every day and having a lot of those choices done in advance, like the canvas size and what colors to use, helped me out a ton. Number 2, art challenges and prompts are your best friends. At around the midpoint, I was starting to struggle to decide what I wanted to draw each day, and art prompts really came in clutch on days where I was lacking that inspiration. Around this time, there are a ton of month-long art challenges in October, and Peachtober was one of the ones that I really wanted to try since I couldn't do it the year before. What's cool about art challenges, especially month-long ones, is that they seem to be happening all year round now. I think I just looked out with the timing of it being October, since that seems to be the time when there's so many to choose from for that month specifically. I'm not sure why that is though. And something that I did a little different with how I've attempted to do with the art challenges before is that I didn't do the prompts that fell on a weekend, because with the doodles that I've been doing currently, I did them every weekday and I gave myself that break on the weekends, and I think that really helped just keep the momentum going for keeping this as a regular habit. Alongside only doing it on the weekdays, I tried to keep it that the doodles would be around 30 minutes to complete, because 30 minutes for me felt the most manageable for me to do right now, and it still does to this day. The third tip: these are just doodles, and you can revisit the idea again. This is a realization that I came to about a couple months into this little art challenge. I really struggled to let go of the idea that this is the only time I can draw this one idea I have, and so I have to make it perfect. But after a while, I realized that I can absolutely redo these drawings and make bigger versions of these doodles, because again, these are only 100 by 100 pixels, and a lot of the time I wanted to make something that has a lot more detail to it and is a lot more intricate in its composition and its design. So this made me start to think about this practice as a way to jot ideas down, and this allowed me to revisit the idea when I have more time and I can make that idea more intricate and build it out a bit more. On days where I didn't feel like drawing, which does happen, absolutely, I fell back on the thought that done is better than perfect, because the main purpose of this practice was to build up a consistent habit of drawing. On days where I wasn't feeling as motivated to draw, I'd try to keep it super simple and try and draw a little pattern that relates to the season, and that helped keep the momentum going. For the next part, I wanted to show some of my favorite drawings that I've done so far. The first set of drawings are these flowers with a dithering pattern for the shading. These are really fun to do, and it made me realize that flowers are probably one of my things that I never really get sick of drawing, and it also inspired a bigger project that I'm currently working on, and I'm almost halfway through on Instagram, and there's a link in bio if you want to see more about that. The second set of drawings, I would say, is Peachtober, and I'll put on screen some of my favorite ones. But this really pushed me to draw the characters that I normally like to draw, but to draw them consistently and start to create little stories for them. And it helped me build more of a personality for each of them, which was really cool to see develop over the month of October. I also did a sketchbook tour of this, going through all of the drawings in another video, and I'll leave that up in the cards if y'all want to take a look at that. The final sort of set of drawings that are my favorites are these studies that I did, and these really helped me understand how to simplify a photo that I see, and both with the shapes and also how to shade them. And yeah, I just really liked how these turned out, and I want to try and do a few more of these in the future. So, after 100 drawings, what is next? I really want to keep this going, but make it a bit more structured and focus more on improving my drawing rather than building up a habit, as I feel like this is pretty natural to me now. I would love to learn how to draw portraits, and I started this a while ago, but at some point it just sort of dropped off and I stopped, and so I would like to pick it up again, and I think this consistent habit would help me improve on that a lot more if it's done in smaller sections. This doesn't mean that I won't draw my little characters ever again. They're still gonna be around, but just post it a little less frequently on Instagram, and hopefully might actually become more of a topic on my YouTube videos, so I can start to revisit some of those illustrations that I wanted to make into a bigger piece. I'm super excited for where this will go, and I'm really happy with all of the work that I've done, and I'm really proud that I've managed to keep this up. Next week's video will be a full flip through of all 100 doodles in a similar format to the Peachtober video that I did, but I won't do commentary on all of them. It'll just be a nice chill flip through, so I hope you look forward to that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you are hoping to make drawing a habit in 2024. I'd love to know what sort of drawings you'd like to do. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care out there. Bye-bye!